Los Pumas grabbed their first ever win over the British and Irish Lions. Vamos, Los Pumas. Poor execution, no cohesion, to be expected from the British and Irish Lions. But what does this mean going forward? Is it all doom and gloom for them, or can they still go on to have a successful tour down under? Before we get into it, let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this game. Can you see what Andy Farrell's trying to do with the squad? Is it just chemistry? Is it just time together that they need? What did you think of the performances? Who was a standout for you? What did you think of Argentina's performance? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into it. So we'll stay on the Lions first. Look, they've been together for 2 weeks. Yes, they're still professional players, and yes, they're quality players. You still expect a certain level or a certain standard, but I feel like the outline of how they want to play was definitely there. There was a lot of interplay between backs and forwards. They want to offload the ball. They want to play that expansive style. I think if 50% of the offloads that they threw in this game came off, went to hand, they probably would have won this game. That is taking nothing away from Argentina. They were fantastic. They had probably two or three guys out still in top 14 duties. So it was a pretty put together team that have been playing together for a long time. They were outstanding. So you couple that with a new team, guys that have come from all different parts, nationalities together, that haven't played together, that have trained together for 2 weeks and learning a different way of how they want to play, you're going to get this result. Yes, I thought British and Irish Lions would still have Argentina's number, but credit to Argentina. And I wouldn't say it's doom and gloom for British and Irish Lions at all, but there's definitely things that they need to work on. The lineouts weren't that good at all, but then the other set piece, the scrum, was really good. Execution of their plays, some parts really good, but then others not that good at all. We're gonna get into it. Early on, a bit shell-shocked, I think the British and Irish Lions were. There was opening play of about 3 to 4 minutes, just ball in play the whole time. Argentina had most of the ball then, ended up with 3 points after that. They did slowly work their way down. They got then the Maul try that was then disallowed, Cowan-Dickey, off the back of Duan van der Merwe with a lovely break through the middle. That's one thing that I did enjoy from the British and Irish Lions, and that's definitely... It shows like Ireland do it as well. Their wingers come off their wing a lot of the time and look for work or create that overlap in midfield or a little bit wider. So if they're right wing or left wing, they come over to the other side to be that extra player coming from depth and just adding that extra, adding a different picture in the attack for the defense. You don't know who's going to get the ball. They're coming from depth. And you've got guys like Duan van der Merwe and Tommy Freeman running onto it. Definitely use them like that. I do love the interplay that they do have between backs and forwards, and then the options they're giving for 9. So Mitchell, when he's looking up, he's got 3, 4, 5 options. What they did really well was use the 3rd or 4th option, and then he's playing out the back. Sometimes it would be 3 or 4 forwards, and then there'll be a centre, and the pass will come all the way across to the centre. He'll play out the back, and then they loop around like that. Just adding that extra. Everyone knows the pod sets up and the pod gets it. Either the 3rd or the 4th guy will get it and they'll play out the back. But now they're adding a center that's past the pod and they're playing that way. I did like that as well. Just changing the picture of attack for the defense. Really, really good. They finally did crash over to score. Bundy Aki crashes over off the back of some good variations play, sucking them in the middle and then playing out wide. They've always got the block player, so there's always someone running short, there's always someone out the back. So the wingers coming off their wing, creating that extra player, just creating that overlap, and there's good hands as well there for Aki's try. And that was off the back of another disallowed try just before that as well. So they had 2 disallowed tries early on. So like I said, it's not all doom and gloom. If one of those tries were allowed, well, yes, there was both knock-ons there. But that's just small little changes, that small little things that need to go your way. And like I said, a couple of those offloads went their way or went to hand. They were definitely on for this one. The scrum was massive. That's one part of the game where you can go, tick, that scrum was dominant. Massive early on, getting penalties, getting advantages, getting tight heads. So when it was Argentina's ball at the scrum, the Lions were getting the turnover there. Massive from the front row of, who was it? It was Gange, Cowan-Dickey, and was it Will Stewart? No, it wouldn't have been Will Stewart. Who was 3? No, I just hit a blank? Yeah, Finlay Beelham. There you go. Finlay Beelham. All right. Did they kick maybe a little bit too much? Alex Mitchell is obviously, again, it was going to be, that is part of Ireland's way of playing, and then it's going to be part of the way they play, the box kicks. Some of them were a bit too far, couldn't really contest them, and that's not something, those box kicks are there to be contested for sure, especially you got guys like Duan van der Merwe and Tommy Freeman chasing them up. I thought Jack Morgan was really good. He was a warrior at ruck time. Also one of the guys just putting their hands up to stake their claim for that test spot. And then I thought in the first half, they were getting caught out wide, isolated rucks, getting the ball turned over or getting turnovers, and then Argentina were running the length of the field to score tries. It's funny because you've got 2 of the most devastating ball runners in the midfield in Aki and Tui Pelotu, and a lot of the times early on, they were just using them as dummy runners, which, yeah, the defense would draw into those guys, but be more direct, use them, because a lot of the times Argentina's defense was just drifting across, making the tackles out wide or putting pressure on British and Irish Lions players out wide, getting turnovers and then capitalizing off that. They did need to come out in that second half, be more direct and be the first to score points. And that's what they did. They come out, they got the maul, they worked their way down, they got the maul, they got then a penalty try off that maul, which then was a yellow card as well. They definitely needed that. And then again, what I've written down here is like when this Lions team click, when those offloads go to hand, when those passes out the back go to hand, when all of those plays that they try to execute here, when that all clicks and goes to hand, oh man, it's going to be beautiful to watch and it's going to be a sight to see. And I'm pretty sure it's going to click sooner rather than later. Players just reacting quicker, understanding which players are getting those offloads, understanding the depth of each other, what lines they run. Like training it is one thing, playing whole different other ball game. So that'll be very interesting when that does happen. I thought Ellis Genge put in an absolute shift. Holy, strong in the scrums, dominated scrums up front, but then was running in the midfield like a centre, running those angles back at the ball, boof, busting through, making 20, 30 meters a carry. That was fantastic. And it set the tone for that, or set up that play for Tide Burn ending up scoring. Massive. So they get off the line out. Earl runs a good line there, gets over that vantage line. They take it wide. They bring it back. When they're bringing it back, Thomas Williams, very quick off the deck. He's getting good ruck speed. He's got so many options. Genji's running that angle back in. Boom, runs over the top of someone, busts through the middle there, and then defense is shattered. You don't know what's happening. They were patient there, and Tide Burn with a lovely pass from Williams comes back at that angle again. Also, again, very Irish. Gibson Park usually hits those wider balls, and Tide Burn loves that angle running. That was a beautiful try, that was. Again, drop balls, cohesion, chemistry, just not there. All little issues like that, they can definitely be rectified with time together. Lineouts was not the best. You've got it's a massive attacking platform. You want to nail those lineouts. I thought when Callagher came on, his throws were a bit more accurate. But like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day, baby. Still a big tour ahead, still 9 games to go. Not your best start, but only way's up now. Only way is up. Jumping over to Argentina, fantastic. Vamos, Los Pumas. How good. How good. It definitely looks like a team that has been together for a while. And you've got your master at 10, Thomas Albanos. Hats off. He was fantastic. I think he got man of the match as well. He was unreal. Just his reading of play, knowing when to kick. Obviously, kicking off the tee was fantastic as well. Just decision-making, cool, calm, collected. Feel like he's got a lot of time on his hands. He had his hands on a lot of those tries as well. So for the first one, He played that lovely skip ball that caught Tommy Freeman. Tommy Freeman was ball watching, face ball right across the face. Albonos hit that player out wide, drawn pass, and Mendy went over to score there. That was fantastic. He then scored one himself. Albonos did. They put a lot of pressure on British and Irish Lions. Isolated rucks. They got the turnover, kicked it through. He got the ball and ran the length of the field pretty much to score untouched. He was kicking well off attack, I think. Right at the end, then he got for Cordero's try. He went to kick it, step, broke, half line break, offload. They went through, kicked through. Cordero went to score. Also a length of the field try. So Albonos, when he's on, this Argentina team is playing really well and they're a threat. Absolutely a threat. He was fantastic. As a 10, that's what you want. Kick all your kicks. I think he might have missed one. Score a try. Couple of line break assists. That's what you want. Just calling the shots, kicking real well. Albonos, 10 out of 10 performance for me. He was fantastic. I think their transition from defense into attack was unreal as well. We've always known Argentina to be very physical, very emotional when it comes to defense, and you need to take it personally. You need to be emotional with defense. But then their ability to turn that defense into attack, spread the ball, find space, unreal. Really, really good. And Contepomi has got this team singing. They are going to be a threat in the Rugby Championship for sure. Sort the scrums out. Scrums got punished, and you look like you go against... you have to come up against guys like the Springboks or New Zealand. You're going to struggle at scrum time then. So definitely sort the scrums out. You've got another attacking platform to work from because your backs are singing at the moment. Your number 10 is one of the best, and it's good to watch. It's fantastic. The rise of Argentinian rugby over the past 20 years has been unreal and fantastic to watch. Good for rugby. Obviously, what they're doing, the Super Rugby Americas, what they're doing at club rugby level in Argentina is showing its fruits of labor, and fantastic to watch. What a win for Argentina. Historic. They get their first ever win over the British and Irish Lions. 28-24. Wowee. What did you guys think of it? Who was your man of the match? What can British and Irish Lions do to improve? And what did you like about their performance? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. Bye.